So we got 4 bikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 little mini bike right there. And in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you a couple different options to store these bikes, hopefully figure out which one I like the most, and I got links down there in the video description if you guys want one of these for you. All right, first of all, we're starting with this bike storage system. This one right here, you guys can find on TEMU. It's about $45, just over $45 for each one of these. This is the rack that I've been using right now up until this point. And the cool thing about this, let me show you real quick. This top basket allows you to store all your gear, so you can like chuck your water bottles in there, your helmet, your riding shoes. It's even got these little hooks on the end down here to throw on your bag, any additional kit that you got. So a good way to not only store your bikes, but store your gear as well. But the 2 issues I have with this setup, the one I've been using, is the amount of space it takes up and the fact that it doesn't fit 4 bikes on just one rack. So you can see right here the amount of space. I got, you know, my Enduro bike in here, my e-bike in there, my trail bike in there, my son's bike, and this little bike. And it takes up about 6 feet by 6 feet. So like 36 square feet of your garage. If you got a smaller garage, like a 100 square foot garage, that's quite a bit of space that it takes up right there for this setup. So let's go ahead and move on to setup number 2 and see if we can find a way to cut that space down just a little bit and maybe find a better way to store these bikes. This is the Vevor 4-bike storage system. It goes for just over $70 there on the TEMU app. And I thought this would be cool because it allows me to kind of stack the bikes up and not take as much space in the garage this way. So let's get these bikes on there, figure out if it even works with the garage door right there. I'm kind of wondering how that's gonna work, but let's get these bikes on there and then we'll talk about it. So there you go, all set up. Got the 4 bikes on there, 2 in the back, 2 up front. It clears the garage door, so you know, standard garage door height. Looks like they kind of thought about that. I thought it was gonna feel a little bit sketchy with like all that weight on it, but feels pretty solid to me. It took us a little bit to get this set up, to like get those things set to the right height. We probably could adjust these arms on there to make it just a little bit better. Get the big heavy e-bike on the bottom. We got the lighter weight bikes up top. Fits those 4 bikes, and then on the little mini bike, if I wanted to, I could just kind of throw that right there in front, or you know, maybe use one of the other rack options I have to kind of store that individual bike. But the only other thing about this thing I would say it'd be kind of cool is if you could like throw some caster wheels on the bottom down there, or like some big old wheels, so you could push this thing back, because you do have to leave some space on the back side right here to be able to pull these bikes off. And it is a little bit of a pain to get these bikes on and off on the back side of this rack. But still, all in all, we're looking at less square footage taken up in your garage. It still takes up that 6 feet this way, but it's definitely a lot less than 6 feet this way. I can see like the tire marks from where the bikes were at before, like way out here. So it's definitely giving you an extra, you know, body length to be able to kind of walk through and clear up just a little bit more space in your garage. Hey, if you guys have made it this far, now's a good time to like, subscribe, help to support the channel. And once again, like I said, I got all those links down in the description. Like, the point of these videos is not try and sell you guys on this shit, but if you want to find it easier, got links down in the description to the TEMU app and where you can find each one of these racks. Now we're moving on to what is probably my favorite rack, or at least the one I was most interested in, because this hangs the bikes up vertically like this. So really should free up a lot of space. Plus it holds 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes on the front, and might even be able to squeeze that little bike on the back side. So let's go ahead and get this set up, and then I'll walk you through it and show you what it's all about. Oh, you kind of have to angle it in there. Oh, okay, you angle it in. Oh, shit, the top part wants to pop off. I don't know about this one, folks. All right, so there it goes. We got all 4 bikes up there. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass to get these on these wheels onto the hooks. You kind of have to like rotate the tires in there. You gotta be really careful that it's not rubbing against the nipples right there, messing up your rims and your spokes. Oh, there it goes. That piece was wanting to like pop out like that. It kept wanting to pop out because it's got these little things, but it doesn't lock it in good enough, those pins. But it does take up a lot less space, that's for sure, right? I mean, we're talking like half the amount of floor space this way, and then even this way right here, that's still less than 6 feet. It didn't fit that smaller bike that I was hoping for on the back side right there. Baby bike, 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 bike. Come on, go in there. Okay, this has some fat rims. It's like rubbing on that tire. No go, huh? It doesn't really work how I thought it would. But all in all, like if your space is tight, I would say that this could be a really good option for you, a way to fit 4 bikes on the rack. Even got the super heavy e-bike on there. So, you know, with the e-bike, the Enduro bike, a couple trail bikes, none of these are lightweight. It's holding all those good. It's got the adjustable feet down there at the bottom, but I wish once again that this had wheels that you could kind of roll it back and forth, be able to kind of roll your bikes back in closer to a wall and kind of roll them out when you're trying to remove these things. One other thing I want to cover real quick is Jeff, the one filming me right now, you just hear his voice, but you put these together, like you're the one that helped me build these this morning. What did you notice when you're building these? Was there anything that was kind of janky or cheap with these coming from TEMU, or as you're building them, which one you thought might be best?
So the one thing I did notice is you can only store them on this rack with all the dropper posts being down. Okay. They cannot be extended, and you're gonna have a hard time with the same size bikes and the handlebars touching the shifters and grips and whatnot.
Okay.
So that was one issue. But other than that, it was pretty good. The install or the assembly process was pretty easy. About an hour for both of them, so not too bad. This rack right here, the Vevor.
Yeah.
The instructions were a little bit more tricky.
Oh shoot, there's no words, huh?
They're a little bit more tricky, but their tubing was labeled.
Oh, okay, so it told you which part to connect?
Right. Well, kind of, yes. It was a little more tricky, but I got it figured out. The other one, this one here, was more straightforward, and the instructions were a whole lot easier to understand.
Okay.
But I'd say 5 out of 10 for both of them as far as assembly goes. And you only needed one tool. I think this one took a 14 millimeter wrench, or 2 14 millimeter wrenches you'll need, and then this one right here took 13 millimeter wrench. Okay. And you could even make this process faster if you used an impact.
Yeah.
It would be much faster. I used 2 box end wrenches, so it took a little longer.
And then real quick, here goes the last 2 bike stands we're gonna cover. For an extra single bike you got like that won't fit on any of these stands, you got this Rock Bros kind of bike wheel stand that you can chuck any bike in. It adjusts right here, so you can widen that out or narrow it up to fit any size bike. So you can easily take your extra bike that you got, kind of throw that thing in there. It'll hold your bike, set that thing, off underneath the bikes if you really want to free up your space and get that thing out of the way. Or there's this bike lift right here that I might hook up to the beam right there and kind of lift this bike up and out of the way. But I think this bike lift right here would be really better for that long-term storage. I wouldn't want to be lifting my bike up and bringing it down every single day if it's something I'm going to ride on a daily basis. All right, so there you go. There goes, 3 big racks with a couple other options. So 5 different ways you can store your bike, clean up that garage space, get more organized. The one that I think I'm gonna pick, like surprisingly, is actually this Vevor stand right here. Yeah, it was hanging it by the dropper post, with the dropper post being down, but like most of the bike's weight was on the frame and the dropper post was just kind of really resting there. These bikes, I love how much it organizes my gear. So maybe I'll find a way to have like the Vevor stand and like one of these, because I love how much gear you can store in there. The vertical bike rack is the best option if you're really limited on space, but I just don't like the idea of hanging your mountain bike by a hook like that on the rim. Although I know a lot of people that use this option, and I've never heard of anybody breaking a rim on one of these hooks, but it's definitely gonna mar it up. You're gonna have to be really careful not to hang it like right on the nipple and start to damage that spoke. So all in all, I'm gonna choose the Vevor stand right here. I'm gonna go ahead, get this set back up, start reorganizing my garage. But now's a good time, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, let me know if there's anything else you guys want to know. Check the links in the video description. I got the TEMU app link, I got the link for each one of these racks. See you guys in the next video. Remember, it's all about getting stoked, going riding, and having some fun, people.